Yeah, we back with another installment of a multi-part series that I'm currently producing entitled Newspapers from the Haitian Revolution. As you can see up on the screen, go to my playlist section and watch the previous videos if you haven't. The first one entitled The Legendary Story About the King of Haiti Celebrating Independence Day in 1814. Fire, go check that out. Second video, France sent a spy to Haiti in 1814. God rest his soul. Watch that. Third video, newspaper from 1816 describing the downfall of Toussaint Louverture. Watch that. And the one I dropped last night, probably the greatest video I ever dropped, period, on my channel. Number one, fire, greatest thing I ever dropped. I don't know how I'm gonna top that. Dropped that last night, entitled The Queen of Haiti's Birthday Celebration 1816, newspaper article from 207 years ago, describing the 12-day celebration for the 38th birthday for the Queen of Haiti back in 1816. Go watch that, man. One of my best work. Now, in this video, it's gonna be a little different, man. If you're emotional, it might not be for you. You know, towards the end, it might get a little graphic. I'm just giving you the disclaimer right now because I know some people, you know, studying history, it gets them a little bit emotional, like myself as well. You know, sometimes I get triggered myself, so I understand. So in this video, if you're emotional, this video might not be for you. So just let you know right now, but if you can handle it, then let's lock in. We back for another installment of Newspapers from the Haitian Revolution, where I dig up a series of newspaper articles from over 200 years ago, legendary documents, very rare documents, man, just crazy material. Anyways, man, go to my playlist section, check that out, go check out my other playlist, but let's get into it, man. The article for today, October 17th, 1816. Let's read the summary together on the screen. One element readers may immediately notice here is the absence of an issue number, making it difficult for us to know precisely where this issue fits within the larger context of the publication of the newspaper in 1816. Nevertheless, the opening article discusses a ship from England that has recently made port in Haiti, carrying, among other people, Prince Saunders, the noted black abolitionist from the northern United States. Time out. If you've been following me for some time, then you are already familiar with the story of Prince Saunders, black man from the East Coast of the United States. Yes, he was part of the Haitian government. Yes, indeed. We open doors for our brothers, man. I believe he was from either Connecticut or Massachusetts, somewhere by that tri-state area. But yeah, man, Prince Saunders, black man from the northern United States, part of the Haitian government. I believe he was one of the political advisors to the King of Haiti. So I got videos on that in my catalog, man. So if you've been following me for a minute, then you already know. Let's continue with the summary. Carrying, among other people, Prince Saunders, the noted black abolitionist from the northern United States. There is also mention of Christophe's desire to set up the Haitian school system using the Lancaster method, thereby introducing British education and the English language to Haiti. A subsequent article praises the King's Code Henry by claiming that it eliminated the very last vestige, all remaining remnants of the colonial code of rule. The result is that Haitians are now different men and a different people than they were in 1789 or even immediately after independence. The construction of the citadel as a monument to Haitian independence is also proclaimed. The issue finishes with the reprint of a long passage from Vasti's Reflections on a Letter from Mazare, 1816, which describes the cruelty of the French colonists. Notably, Vasti briefly recalls the tale of Sanit Belair, the brave heroine who was cruelly executed by the French along with her husband, the Haitian revolutionary, Charles Belair. Yes, Sanit Belair, she was a female lieutenant in the Haitian Revolutionary Army. She was a 21-year-old black woman who was executed by firing squad by the white boys in the French colonial army. Bitch ass niggas. And to be honest, cruelty like that was very common for the white boys in the French army, man. I mean, they really didn't spare anybody. They didn't spare the old people. They didn't spare the elderly. They didn't even spare the young 7, 8, 9-year-olds, man. Even the toddlers were getting cruelly executed. So, of course, a 21-year-old black woman, I mean, man, listen, it is what it is, man. And white boys, they were doing whatever they can to maintain their wealth and their power, man. Even if they were shooting black women in the face, man, it don't matter. Listen, when it comes to that wealth and power, them Europeans wasn't playing, man. And they still not playing. But it's only us that's playing. It's only black people that's playing. You know what I'm saying? The opposition, he not playing. He never been playing. And he's still not playing. We the one that's sleeping. Anyways, man, let's jump into the article. From the city of Cap Henry, October 10th. The English ship, the Catherine Anna, under the command of Captain Thomas, leaving London in a 27-day crossing, arrived on the 21st of last month. Mr. Prince Saunders and 4 gentlemen came as passengers on this ship. His Majesty, Christophe, our most august and beloved sovereign, is unceasingly concerned with the means to be employed to introduce public education into the kingdom. At this moment, at Cap Henry, very fine premises are being prepared for the establishment of national schools on the plan and method of Lancaster. In the different cities of the kingdom, there will be formed similar establishments. His Majesty gave a distinguished welcome to the professors, artists, and schoolmasters who came to settle in Haiti to teach the youth. They were treated honorably, and the government granted them good salaries. Now, time out. If y'all watch my documentary, my playlist, The Most Powerful Black Man of the Last 500 Years, then you already know that during this time, Christophe was setting up a lot of the very first educational institutions in Haiti, a lot of the very first universities, etc., etc. Many people don't know, but King Henry Christophe was actually a member and a dues-paying member of some European, some English society, some abolitionist society in England, right? You know, the abolitionists in England were active during that time, the early 1800s, and Christophe was actually a major philanthropist who donated millions and millions of dollars to the cause of abolition. And because of that, he ended up creating a lot of deep relationships with abolitionists in England who helped him arrange the very first schools in Haiti, sending teachers, artists, all that, bro, all that, chemists, pharmaceutical, doctors, all that, you know what I mean? Listen, go to my playlist section, Most Powerful Black Man of the Last 500 Years, if you want to learn more about that. Let's get back into the article. The king's plan is to introduce education and the English language into Haiti. How must we not applaud His Majesty's great intentions? He wants to give the Haitian people the best gift it is possible to give them, that of education. It is time for us to abandon French manners and habits. It is time that we receive a truly national education, which teaches our children from an early age to cherish and idolize our kings, our freedom and our independence, and our progress in the sciences and the arts will forever confound our detractors. Now, time out, man. Time out. If our ancestors in the year 1816 understood the importance of educating your own children, right? Listen to what they said. It is time that we receive a truly national education, which teaches our children from an early age to cherish and idolize our kings, our freedom, and our independence, and our progress in the sciences and the arts will forever confound our detractors. So why is it today that we send our children to go learn about George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and Napoleon Bonaparte and Winston Churchill and Frederick Lugard and all that? Why are we not in the present day teaching our children to cherish and idolize our kings, but our ancestors 200 years ago, fresh out of slavery, right? They understood the importance of teaching your children from an early age to cherish and idolize their own people, their own ancestors, their own image, right? But in today, that seems like a concept that's been lost upon us. So that's very interesting. Anyways, let's continue with the article. We have read in several English newspapers, which we have received from London, from the ship, the Catherine Anna, that the armaments and expeditions made by the Spaniards of Cartagena against the royalists of the Terra Firma had taken place in the Kingdom of Haiti. It seems to us, and justice demands, that Petron's operations and impolitic steps should never be confounded with the wise and measured conduct of Christophe's government. We believe we must make known to our foreign readers that by our laws, the government cannot meddle in the affairs of our neighbors. Christophe's formal intentions are never to allow any armament or expedition to be made in any of the ports of the kingdom, subject to royal authority, either in favor or against our neighbors. Now, time out. During this time, in case you didn't know, Haiti was currently divided among two opposing factions, right? You had Christophe's government in the north, and you had the government of Alexander Petron in the south. As we know, Christophe's government up north, very wealthy, very stable, very prosperous. But the reason why they were able to survive is because they let it be known that, listen, we're not going to export the revolution. We're not going to export the war to any neighboring islands. We're not going to invade another neighboring colony to go, arm the people, arm the slaves against the state. We're not gonna do that, man. We just gonna sit back, get money. The only thing we're gonna do is if a slave ship sails into our ports, we are going to seize that ship and rescue everybody on board because you sailed into the national territory. You sailed into our waters, so that's under our power to take over your boat and take control of it, right? But in terms of arming any foreign group, any foreign rebels to overthrow the state, to overthrow another European power, Christophe let it be known, listen, I ain't into that. Now, the government of Alexander Petron in the south, yeah, he was into that. Yeah, he was sending guns to the Spanish. He was sending guns to, Simon Bolivar. He was sending guns down to Colombia and Peru and Ecuador and all that. Yeah, so that's why in that little section of the article, they let it be known, like, listen, that ain't us. That's some other generals down south. Listen, we ain't, we didn't arm nobody. We didn't send no expedition. That ain't us. Our government does not meddle in the affairs of our neighbors, etc., etc. So that's what they talking about, in case I didn't know. Like I said, if you go to my playlist session and check them out, all of this information won't be new to you, but I gotta come in and drop the information for some of y'all who may be new here, etc., etc. So anyways, let's get back into the article. They have gone so far as to say that they have seen our warships sail towards the Windward Islands during the days of the Barbados insurrection. It is a proven lie, for our warships for a long time have only occupied themselves with transporting government commodities in the port of the capital. If they sometimes go out armed inside of our ports, it is only to protect foreign commerce when it is menaced by pirates. Now, time out, in case you didn't know, the newspaper that we are reading, all of these newspaper articles are coming from the government of King Henry Christophe, based in northern Haiti. King Henry Christophe, as we know, was in power in northern Haiti from 1806 to 1820. So yeah, anyways, let's continue. We can affirm that the Carthaginian corsairs in no way frequent the ports of the Kingdom of Haiti, and that the Haitians, far from wanting to go abroad to serve as instruments for any party whatsoever, are determined to remain peacefully at home, where they have enough to do to consolidate their freedom and their independence, without their needing to throw themselves imprudently into undertakings contrary to the laws of their countries and to the natural and strongly pronounced inclinations never to abandon their native soil. In Europe, we have received gazettes from London until August 22nd. It seems that there is nothing extraordinary on the continent of Europe, except that France is trying to raise an army and that it makes recruits on all sides, in the old guard and the new. The French generals of Bonaparte's army were put into action by Louis XVIII. One wonders in London, against whom will this army be directed? Does France have any later undertakings in view? We are not well versed in politics, but let everyone do as we do and keep themselves prepared for any event. That is the true way of not being surprised. It was at the beginning of the 1807 Civil War that King Henry was proclaimed president of Haiti, and it was at this very time that he occupied himself with the project of universal reform, which he had long cherished in his heart. His first care was to restore order in the finances by adopting a wise and economical system. Suddenly, there was a great change in the morality, the mores, and the manners of the people. To the odious vices succeeded love, honest and beautiful work. Activity, sobriety took the place of laziness, indolence, and debauchery, and then it was honorable to be virtuous. Everyone strove to become so. The sublime institution of monarchy, by giving the government a stable and solid form, obliges us to make immense progress towards civilization. It was necessary to have urbanity, courtesy, manners to appear at court, and soon the manners of the court spread to all classes of society. Until then, the absence of our own laws, justice was administered on the regulations and ordinances of our tyrants. The creation of the Code Henry came to completely change the face of things and made the last vestige of the colonial regime disappear. This code of laws would suffice to immortalize Christophe's name. In the negotiations, Christophe avoided by his wisdom falling into the snares of our implacable enemies. He knew how to destroy their dishonorable projects and repulse with horror their odious proposals. By his energy and his courage, he raised the glory of the Haitian people. Firm and wise with the enemies outside, Christophe showed himself to be humane, great, and generous towards the lost Haitians. With powerful means, despite the provocations of a madman, he wisely avoided spilling Haitian blood, both for our mutual preservation and not to give grounds for joy and triumph to our implacable enemies. Christophe tirelessly dealt with the means to strengthen our freedom, and the army has been maintained on a formidable footing, and the entire population has received arms. The first care fulfills that of our preservation. Christophe busied himself with our internal prosperity, turning his eyes toward agriculture and public instruction, public education, in view of the benefits it will bestow on the Haitian people. What thanks and gratitude do we not owe to our generous king? Already, the national schools are beginning to establish themselves on the plan and method of Lancaster. Soon will be established the Royal College of Haiti, where our young people will be able to launch themselves into the higher sciences. Following the example of the Charlemagnes, the Alfreds, and the Pierre le Grand, these benefactors of their people, King Henry wants to introduce into the kingdom the scenes and the arts. He wants to give us the most beautiful present that a king can give to his people, those of instruction and enlightenment. All right, now that was like I said, this article came out in 1816, so it pretty much gave an update of what was going on during the Kingdom of Haiti during that time. But now it cuts to the snapshot back into the crimes of the French army during the Haitian Revolution, right? It's actually an excerpt from a book written by Baron de Vasti, the secretary to the king, the king's right-hand man. This is actually an excerpt from a book that he wrote, and this was attached into the article. So we're going to get into it, man. We're going to get into it. The article goes on to say, we extracted a work by Baron de Vasti, the following account of the crimes and the cruelty of all kinds that the French have practiced in Haiti. The author begins thus: eye and ear witness to the facts that I report. There can be no doubt of their veracity. Everyone places themselves around a stake. Some have their heads bent and dare not raise their eyes to stare at their terrible apparatus. The others burst into joy. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the French general, Claparède, commanding the city of Cap, goes to the Place Royale, accompanied by a large staff. The 3 victims were placed in the neighboring guardhouse, awaiting the hour of their torture. Claparède gives the order to lead them to the stake. They arrive to the sounds of the drums, as in a triumphal march. The infamous Collet, captain of the gendarmes, precedes them. Joy and ferocity are painted on his face. Each of the victims has a sugarcane in their hand. They are placed on a stake and attached to the post by iron rings. Everything is ready. The sacrifice is about to be consummated. A more silence reigns among the spectators. Claparède orders the stake to be set on fire. At the moment, the flame crackles. The feet of the victims begins to be set on fire. You think you can already hear their cries. You think you see them struggling in these horrible torments. But oh, stoic courage. Oh, rare bravery. They do not even move their feet. They remain motionless, their eyes fixed. They defy the executioner and the fire which devours them. Soon they are enveloped by the flames. Their bodies are splitting. The fat is flowing on the stake. A thick smoke rises with an odor of grilled flesh. Dread seizes the spectators. Their hair stands on end. A cold sweat runs from their bodies. Everyone flees and disperses, filled with horror. A feeling of hatred and revenge rises in the heart of the dismayed Haitian. The executioners alone remain in the square and do not withdraw until their victims are entirely reduced to ash. They brave the executioner and the fire that devours them. Soon they are enveloped in flames. Their bodies are splitting. The fat is flowing on the stake. Could I give my readers an exact description of the torment of my compatriots who are devoured by dogs? Can my untrained pen ever perfectly paint such a horrible picture? The imagination and sensitive soul of my readers will make up for my lack of eloquence and means. The first men who were devoured by dogs were at the Cap, at the convent of the nuns, and in the house of French General Boyer, Rochambeau's chief of staff. Since then, now time out. I don't think, listen, this was not I don't think this was the Haitian General Jean-Pierre Boyer. I think this was an actual white Frenchman named Boyer. Because I don't think that the Haitian General would be Rochambeau's chief of staff. So I just want to put that out there so nobody gets confused. I don't think that, just letting y'all know. I don't think, anyways, let's continue. Since then, they transported the theater of the scene of horrors to Eau du Cap on the Chalier plantation. The mastiffs had been brought there, and to give them a taste for devouring men, they were fed from time to time with human flesh. When they had a few victims to devour, it was a day of celebration for the locals. Colette, Forestier, Tesser, Laurent, Darac, police commissioners from the city of Cap, all French settlers, dressed in their uniforms and put on their municipal scarves to go to the scene, accompanied by a crowd of bipedal mastiffs. Curious to witness the horrible quarry of the quadrupedal mastiffs, 1,000 times less ferocious than themselves, several days in advance, they had taken the precaution of making the dogs fast to stimulate their hunger. From time to time, a victim was presented to them, which they withdrew as soon as the dogs wanted to rush on it to devour it. Finally, the fatal moment arrives, when a few men or women are going to definitely be handed over to them. These unfortunate victims are tied to posts in the presence of the commissioners to prevent them from being able to save themselves or even defend their lives. The mastiffs are released. They rush on the victims. In an instant, the victims are torn. Their quivering flesh is in shreds. Their blood streams from all sides. Only the cries of pain and horrible agony are heard. The beleaguered victims beg the pity of these monsters. In vain, they ask for death as a last favor. Superfluous prayers. Nothing can move the heart of these tigers. They have stripped themselves of all human feelings. To the lamentable accents of their sad victims, they only respond with a sardonic laugh, and they continue to excite the mastiffs to better devour the victims. However, the voices of the victims have died out. Their groans are almost no longer heard, and their emaciated corpse still quiver. The panting mastiffs are tired. They are satiated with human flesh and blood. In vain, the executioners still incite them. They refuse to continue their horrible quarry. They are withdrawn to make them return to their lairs, and the monsters with human figures finish by taking away with a dagger the rest of life of the unfortunate victims. Now, time out. Yes. Remember what they said? They said men and women. Men and women were getting set on fire, reduced to ash, getting cremated alive. Men and women were getting eaten by dogs and then freaking stabbed to death. Yes, men and women. Yeah, men and women. And then y'all come and tell me that I'm just an angry black man. Oh, why you so mad, bro? Why you so mad, bro? I mean, why you so mad? I mean, that was a long time ago, bro. It don't matter. I mean, yeah, it happened to your great grandmother, but it don't matter though. I mean, it didn't happen to you though, so who cares, right? I mean, you know, we're a very goofy people who doesn't know who we are or what we've been through. But anyways, the article goes on to continue. From one end of the island to the other, the same cruelties were committed by the French. Toussaint Louverture had voluntarily resigned himself from his authority and had laid down his arms, retired to his habitation, stripped of all his greatness, like this famous Roman. He cultivated with his hands this same land which he had defended with his arms. He urged us by his words and his example to imitate him, to work and to live peacefully within our families. Against the faith of treaties, the French lured him into a trap. He was arrested, loaded with irons. His wife, his children, his family, his officers experienced his disastrous fate. Thrown on board French ships, they go to Europe to end their unfortunate career by poison in dungeons and in irons. General Jacques Maurepas and Charles Belair died in the tortures. Maurepas was nailed alive inside the French ship L'Annibal in the presence of his wife and his children. His corpse was thrown into the sea with all of his family. The unfortunate Belair is shot with his brave wife. This heroine, before dying brave. Domini, Dommage, La Mautière, a crowd of officers and distinguished citizens experienced the death of scoundrels, are hanged. Those who escape their murderous irons or the gibbets die by poison. Generals Vilat, Levay, Goulart suffered this fatal fate. Others are deported to be sold to the court ferme or in France, where they ended their careers in the galleys. Weary of so many crimes, we ran to arms. We measured ourselves against our executioners. We fought hand to hand, man for man, with stones and sticks to preserve our freedom and our existence, those of our wives and our children. After shedding floods of our blood, confounded with that of our tyrants, we remain the masters of the battlefield. And that's the end of the article, man. That was beautiful, man. Let me pour some. You know how we do it, man. Let me pour some liquor for the ancestors, man. Let me pour some liquor for the ancestors, man. Yeah. But anyways, man. Let me pour some water for the let me drop some water for the ancestors too, though. You know. And yeah. So, anyways, it is what it is. That's why whenever I see y'all Haitian women running around with these white boys, man, I just get, I just can't believe it. Whenever I see y'all Haitian women running around with these white boys, man, I just can't believe it. I bet even the white boys can't even believe it. The white boys can't even believe it. They be like, damn, after everything our forefathers did to y'all, you still let me smash? Damn, you a goofy. Anyways, man, it's your boy Neverguard Desaline back in the building. Yes, indeed. Like, share, subscribe. Cash app in the description. And I'm gone. Peace. Long live the ancestors. I'm gone.
Reincarnated, I'm back in original fashion. I left on a horse and came back in the ass, and I left with abundance and came back to famine. We used to be pyramids, now we be rapping. Look how the mighty have fallen. Used to be running, now we be walking. When you be cooning, that's when they applauded. Selling your soul, your sons and your daughter. Gotta come up in this shit, they stuck in the mix. Really, my heart it be breaking. That's why I'm stacking that paper and handle my business. Pass it down in generation. Talking about money and power and building a nation. That's a deadly combination. Never be watching the TV, they pushing agendas, falsifying information. Know they got malice intentions. Step in the room and I'm feeling the tension. Enemy watching, he blocking my vision. Get for the check cause I need my redemption. Building my kingdom, I need it protected. Ready for war like a young Money Congo. Never decided the team is the motto. Up in the crib and I'm whipping up waffles. Up in the crib and I'm smoking gelato. I'm chilling, I'm taking my pain and make it ambition. I'm blessed by the gods, but I ain't religious. I came for the power, they came for the bitch. They making no hourly wage. I got business, this shit is an art, and they could never be taught. Selling my soul, I can never be bought. Play with my money, I see you ain't caught. Run to the check and I do it for sport. Babylon falling, I go to the source. Packing my luggage and go overseas. Shorty be with me and she so elite. Shorty be chocolate, I'm calling her Hershey. Secret intelligence probably gon' murk me. Don't fuck with friends, cause nigga I'm Haitian. Say the wrong shit and get smack in their faces.